Hello everybody, this is Stefan from Lush and Salty Aquariums. How are we doing? Okay, I wanted to show this tank which I've been working on kind of off and on for a long time now. It constantly needs tweaking, and I'll tell you why. That beautiful piece of driftwood, which pretty much goes from end to end in the tank and has a beautiful sloping feature here, which the shrimp, as you can see, love to glide up and down on. I have a great colony of cherry shrimp in here, but that piece of driftwood is responsible for creating a lot of tannin and staining the water. So it doesn't hurt the fish, it just looks grody. And I've talked about this over the last few months and the various things I've done to try to deal with it, because as much as I don't mind the tannin effect, it's just not a great look for a small tank like this. This tank is 5 gallons, and I think tannin tanks look better in a bigger sort of bio-appropriate setup. But with these tiny nano tanks, which feature little tetras and cherry shrimp, they pretty much just get swallowed up by the brown color. So what I've done over the last few months is try to put different filtering medias, floss in particular, that you see the white up there, over the bio pellets, which are a generally great way to filter and clean water from the tank. They, however, quickly get saturated by the stain from the water and other poop and fish waste and whatnot, and then I replace them. So it's not a problem, it's just not super productive. And if I'm gonna be doing that, and I am doing that, what I like to do is, and this is the best solution I've found so far, is I take these filter pads from the Fluval quick clear filtering pad box here that you see. I got this at Petco or PetSmart, and while you're supposed to use that entire pad in a canister filter, I take it and with the scissors I cut a little piece. It only needs to be about that big, and I usually make diagonals to fit in a triangle shape of sorts, to fit into a nice little slot at the top here, and I just pop it in, soak it, make sure it doesn't get thrust right back into the water. Now this floss has wonderful, like, it's put together like a lasagna of floss, so it's a much more longer lasting and higher quality floss system than using just the simple more cotton ball effect floss. Now this works fine and it's a lot cheaper, but it doesn't work as fine, plus it's messier and it quickly gets gunked up, whereas this seems to be able to hold on to a lot more of the tannin. So you see, while the water still has a slight tea color, it's very slight, and I can see the green tetras all the way in the back there, these albino tetras, and of course all the cherry shrimp. And the greens from the Anubias petite, well, they pop. I've got guppy grass, and I've got Avala cinerea, sort of the stem grass plant in the back, and I can see all that. And when the water gets stained, I barely can see anything other than kind of the central feature, and it just looks dingy. So if I'm looking at it from my desk while I'm working, I'm just not as happy. And frankly, while it's indifferent for the fish, it makes a big difference for me. So what I do, I've outlined, is I buy this and I spend the the $7 or $8 or $5 as opposed to a whole bag of this for $5, and I cut and snip and do what I do. And it's really made a difference in all my tanks, but this one in particular, which, as I said before, is just basically what I like to do in most of my tanks: heavily planted, small tetras, and cherry shrimp. There's obviously some catfish in here, pygmy hesperos. Well, not obviously, there just is. And I might have an autosynchronous or three, something like that. And I don't see any of them right now. Those are sort of my cleanup crew. And there are a few. These are bladder snails, not ram's horn snails. So I have both kinds in here, and there have been a lot more over the years. There you see a ram's horn back there. These are actually shrimp pellets that were part of the substrate soil. I don't recommend that. They don't hold plants very well, and basically your classic substrate is better and works just as well. And so the shrimp pellets were an experiment. You see some down there that I had used below the darker substrate, which I used to cap the soil, so basically it can hold on to these plants, which those round pellets just couldn't do. Anyway, I digress. That is the report on this nano tank, and a little bit of a plug for an alternate use for this floss media that I usually use in my canister filter, which is housed beneath that tank there. So I'll get to this beautiful tank again soon. Let me just swoop across some of these desktop tanks and go back to the one we were talking about, and this is where I'll leave you. So my friends, have a wonderful rest of your week, and always keep your hands in the tank. Ciao for now.